So this will be the last video I make about the 2028 presidential election ever. We have now found the person who will succeed Trump, the person who will be the 48th U.S. president. So J.D. Vance can go and sign some book deal and hide up in his bunker in Ohio. Tucker Carlson might as well just cancel his show and close down shop. This individual is going to defeat any Democrat that runs, and she's going to make them all look like jokes. It's time for President Megyn Kelly. Article from The Hill. Conservative pundit Megyn Kelly said Thursday that she could be motivated to run for president if Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Democrat of New York, made a White House bid. Laying into the progressive lawmaker Thursday on her podcast and radio show, Kelly exclaimed, "F that woman. If she runs for president, I might run. I'll find my way into a ticket somehow. There's no way this person can run for president or be president. No." The firebrand pundit was responding to comments from Ocasio-Cortez, blasting the Republican Party for what she said was radicalizing young men and turning them violent. There was indeed one party that radicalized today's young men, and it was yours, ma'am. It was yours. It was yours who blamed them for literally everything just because they were born male. The nerve, your side, to demonize them at every turn, and laughed when they ever dared to express any actual pain at the circumstances that they were forced into through no fault of their own. You are absolutely disgusting to now try to turn it around and say it is the Republican Party. You know, I believe that neither party actually cares about men. We hear so often about reaching out to women voters, and oh my God, Roe v. Wade took away this fundamental right for women. But how often do you ever see politicians go, yeah, what about all these young guys that can't get a job and they're not totally feeling any kind of happiness for their future, like some of us. You never see them refer to that on either side. But what's really sad to me about these comments is that Kelly has no solutions, right? Like, she's not actually going to champion the rights of young men, suggest any kind of mental health services, or have any young guys in their show to talk about what specifically is bothering them, why are they feeling any sense of despair or hopelessness. And I guess what's really frustrating to me is that, you got this YouTube channel with over 1 million subscribers, and the most you can do with that is to throw around the idea that you might run for president, not because you have some platform or idea that you want to get across. Literally, if AOC runs, and AOC might not even be the Democratic candidate, right? She'd get eliminated in the primary like Sanders. So what would even cause you to think, oh yeah, well, if she runs, then I'll run? It just seems really strange that your desire to run for the highest office in the land is not motivated by a specific policy proposal or set of different ideas that you want implemented, but rather just, I don't like this person. If they want to run for this, I'm going to run for this. Which is sad, because if you ask me, why would I run for president, right? I would say there are a lot of issues in the United States which people should be more aware of, right? The hundreds of thousands of homeless people, the fact that most Americans live paycheck to paycheck, the ever-increasing cost of groceries. These are things that should be talked more about, right? AI's taking all the jobs. The report by the Senate that in 10 years, they're going to take over 100 million jobs. Just various economic issues I would be very serious about at least presenting to people. And of course, if you're running for president, there's automatically a larger platform for you to do that from than sitting on your podcast or radio show. And that's the issue I have with so many of today's pundits. They run their mouths, but how many of them are actually going to go around and travel and fly to this state or fly to that state to campaign? Like, a lot of people are saying Tucker, right, could run, and I think if he did, he would start off with very strong support, at least in the Republican primary. But you got to remember, he is a radio host. He doesn't have experience campaigning. And a lot of these people really are just trying to make some money by talking about this stuff. So could you really see Megyn Kelly? You know, this isn't even like a shot at her gender because there's plenty of other women I'd like for president. But could you really see her flying to Iowa, New Hampshire, and South Carolina, campaigning, having proposals on various policies? Again, this is nothing to say of her gender or her appearance or anything. It's simply that this is an individual who, need I remind people, had one of the biggest feuds with Trump during his first presidential campaign, the 2016 one. And to garner support from his audience, she has turned a complete 360, just like Mark Levin, so she's not alone in that. That whole anti-Trump, now can't get enough of him routine that they do, right? Vance is the same way. But could you really see someone like that being trustworthy if you're a Republican voter? And again, are you really going, like, what does she have that would make her any more someone you would support than Vance or Carlson? Or, I mean, if we want to, go through other women candidates, I think Kristi Noem, after about 4 years, people will not be as upset with the whole dog killer thing. It's like that. If you want, MAGA Barbie, why not go with her? I mean, it's just, I'm just saying, like, what about Megyn is any more appealing than these other people? I'm going to run for president if this other person runs. Not because I actually believe in anything except lining my pockets. That's what this is really about. If you told me she was going to do like Larry Elder and run for president, like dead on arrival campaign, where they fly around, boost their name recognition a little bit, right? So like basically just a campaign to promote their crap more and make some more money for themselves through more publicity, more free publicity from launching a doomed campaign. I would believe she would try that, yeah. But man, that 2028 field, it just gets larger and larger. We might possibly have Megyn Kelly. We can have 2 Fox hosts running for president at the same time. Two former Fox hosts, but still, with a twist.